parade is a good place to start. The best-loved characters ever created are strutting their stuff down Main Street at Walt Disney World, and people are having the time of their lives. Disney Productions theme parks are designed and managed with only one thing in mind: satisfying the customer. When it comes to providing an entertainment vacation land for the whole family, Disney has no peer. Here in Orlando, Florida, the gates to Walt Disney World open at 9 a.m. every day of the year. In less than an hour, the grounds are mobbed. On a busy summer day, more than 100,000 people will converge on the park. The price of a one-day ticket to the Magic Kingdom or Epcot Center is $18.
Hi, 5 adults for Magic Kingdom one day.
But most folks buy a 3- or 4-day pass, stay on the property at one of 3 Disney-owned hotels, and eat their meals in Disney restaurants. Last year, the park hosted 23 million people from all over the world and took in gross receipts of $730 million. What is it that attracts people in these numbers? In a word, the irresistible magic of Disney make-believe. Mickey Mouse, the park trademark, is the emblem of that magic. When a Disney executive takes you out to lunch and tells you it's on the mouse, he's not kidding. But how is it possible to sustain a seamless world of make-believe in the midst of this teeming crowd? The Disney solution to this challenge is one of the best examples in American business of how a large company communicates its values to its employees. The world of make-believe isn't real. It's a continuous performance occurring all around you. The physical park is a giant stage. But to come alive, a stage needs performers. What Disney does better than anyone else in the business is train its employees to be performers in a live show.
Come on, raise them real high. Repeat after me. I hope we never return. Okay, keep it in mind. We'll be in good shape. As we leave civilization behind, we enter the mighty Amazon River of South America. Oh, look at this. We're moving into a pool of dangerous hippopotami. They can easily upset our boats. Now watch out for these guys. They are dangerous. They've been sinking our boats all week long. There's a charger on the left, and another one's on the right side. Uh-oh, hey, crew. Shh. We're in headhunter territory now, yeah?
Every smallest detail of the company's elaborate training program is designed to create an awareness in its employees that Walt Disney World is, above all, show business.
Bye-bye, crew. Bye. 10 minutes in the jungle and you forget your manners. Oh, savage.
There is no personnel office here. You are hired at Central Casting. And on day one as a new hire, everyone is required to take Traditions 1 at Walt Disney University.
Does anybody know all 7 dwarfs? Anybody got all 7 dwarfs? Go ahead.
Doc, Sneezy, Grumpy, Dopey, Sleepy, Happy, and Droopy.
Nope. You got 6 out of 7. What's the 7th one? Bashful. That's right. There's no Godzilla.
The day begins with apparently trivial pursuits, but there is method here. As the trainer drills his class about Mickey and Snow White and Fantasia, he enfolds them in Walt Disney's vision of the Magic Kingdom. He creates the illusion that Walt himself is present in the room, welcoming the new hires to his personal domain. The object is to make these new employees feel like partners with the park's founder, sharing a mission to create the most wonderful place in the world.
And if you went to Tomorrowland, you could...
There is no better example of how a large company instills values in its employees.
And of course, he made sure he kept the place clean. He made sure it was simple and unconfusing. He made sure that he gave the people a good value for the dollar that they spent when they visited Disneyland. And most of all, he made sure that all of his employees were friendly, polite, courteous, and helpful. Just grab a seat, make yourself comfortable.
After lunch, the class moves to a small theater, the perfect setting in which to learn that they are all to be players in a live performance.
What business are we in? You know, everybody knows that McDonald's makes hamburgers, General Motors makes automobiles, Sony makes TVs, but what does Disney make? Makes people happy, exactly. Doesn't matter who they are, where they come from, what they do, what language they speak, what color they are, or anything else. We're here to make them happy. Nobody's been hired for a job. Everybody has been cast for a role in our show. Because of that, everyone is a cast member. You're all hosts and hostesses. There's no custodians, no cops, there's no bellboys or anything else. Everybody's a host and a hostess. We also work on stage. We take a break, we go backstage. We wear a costume, not a uniform. Of course, we deal with an audience, not a crowd. That audience is made up of guests and of visitors, not of tourists. It reminds us what business we're in. We are in show business. We are in entertainment.
On stage, off stage, a simple distinction that Disney drums into its employees endlessly. Walt Disney saw to it that the stage itself, what customers see as they move through the park, was what he called picture perfect. There are props, backdrops, lights, and everything else that goes into a giant production, but all is hidden from sight. In the days when Disney toured the park in person, he made certain that nothing was allowed to mar the picture. Today, 17 years after his death, custodial crews sweep and polish the park around the clock. Off stage at Walt Disney World is really understage. The park is elevated. At ground level, beneath it, runs a maze of tunnels called the Underpark. Located down here is the computer center which controls the rides, a cafeteria for employees, and the wardrobe department. Clean costumes, not uniforms, are issued to cast members, not employees, at the beginning of each day. With 2 million items in stock, this is the largest theatrical wardrobe in the world.
There you go. Have a nice day.
In the Underpark, strictly off limits to customers, employees may smoke, eat and drink, fix their makeup, and in general behave as they do in the real world. But once they ascend from the tunnel and enter the Magic Kingdom through inconspicuous doors in quiet corners, they are on stage again and expected to perform. It's easy to see that masked and costumed characters like Captain Hook are performing. But the thing to remember, and the point that Disney emphasizes to its employees, is that everyone is a part of the show, including the VIP hostesses stationed near City Hall to answer questions.
And then when you get to each land, it's going to be a little more detailed, and it'll list all the attractions, restaurants, and shops. Okay, so you shouldn't miss a thing. And you're starting off in Town Square, okay? How are you today? Good.
Each player's responsibility is the same. Make the guests, not customers, feel welcome and special.
This guy is important. How can I make him feel that way? What can I do to give him the kind of day that he came to Walt Disney World for? And that's not easy. I'm not going to kid you. That's probably the most difficult thing you're going to have to contend with here at Walt Disney World. People get upset. They get angry. They get lost. They get confused. They get hot. And they take it out on you. And you don't deserve it. How do you do it? How do you maintain friendly, smiling, polite people? You know, we get letters every day, all the time.
Like everything else in the park, the training itself is a performance, scripted, rehearsed, and faultlessly delivered by the trainer.
And I'm going to stand here and I'm going to throw pixie dust over you all. You're all going to... Folks, it doesn't work that way.
How does Disney do it? By making certain everyone understands his role in the show. When Traditions 1 has been completed, new hires go into the park for 3 days of operations training. Disney chooses terminology for the image it projects. Rides aren't rides, they're attractions. And the script, in a hats off to the carnival barker, is called the spiel. That's not spiel, but spiel. At the Jungle Boat Cruise, the spiel is 9 pages long. To discourage ad-libbing, it includes a list of approved variations and 3 pages on the philosophy of the ride. Nothing is left to chance.
If you can, try to act like you're steering, okay?
Hard to remember.
Maybe elephant pool.
And it looks like we've stumbled into the sacred bathing pool of the elephant. Whole herds of playful Indian elephants migrate here every day. Okay, Okay, look out ahead. He's coming up. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's coming over the left.
You're looking back.
You better get down over there.
Now,
Oh, boy.
As soon as it goes down, go.
Okay.
Okay. So now I hope we can make it.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Oh, he's coming again. You better look out.
Turn around as much as you can. Tell them, lean in, lean in, lean in. Okay, make it look as dramatic as you can. You got to make it look like they're going to get wet, okay? Lean in, lean in. You're scared as they are, okay? You're just driving the boat. You want them to lean in as much as they can because that water's going to come right at them.
Okay. From working with my trainer, he showed me a lot about different things you can do to lighten them up, to get their mind off of it. When they start out on the jungle cruise, they're going into the jungle. They're no longer anywhere except for the jungle, and it's my job to take them away and put them there.
When is the show supposed to start? What is the show going to be about?
Well, it's a Donald Duck parade, and what it is it's a tribute to Donald Duck because it is his 50th birthday.
But it isn't only the obvious performers who are trained. To make a customer feel special as you point the way to Fantasyland or the nearest restroom requires its own kind of training.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The minute you walk through City Hall and you're out here on Main Street, then we're on stage. You need to be all smiles. That's what the guests remember. They remember what that person said to them, what that cast member told them when they were in front of City Hall, and that you were smiling or that you took extra time with them. Those are the important things.
Okay, Alan, in the process of making your rounds, you need to keep...
Everyone is taught a role. Sweeping up the park seems a simple task, but Disney knows that these custodial crews will receive more questions from customers than anyone else in the cast.
At the same time, you have to be courteous, you know, and be aware of the guests around you and their questions. And even though you get the same question asked 3 or 4 times, you know, you got to remember each time that it's a different guest asking you.
Those trained longest and hardest are the Disney characters. And watching them learn the steps and gestures that make each one of them unique is a real treat. But this part of the training we are not allowed to show. Disney knows that these creatures are the wellspring of the enchantment which is its stock in trade, and protects them fiercely. The most strictly enforced rule in the park is that no one outside the cast shall ever be permitted to see a character with its mask off. The illusion must be maintained. These players are taught never, under any circumstances, to break character. We tried to peek behind the mask by filming Goofy in the Underpark before he went on stage. But even down here, because we were there with our cameras, Goofy played Goofy. The key to Disney's success is its commitment to making sure that people who come here have a good time, and the training program the company has developed to achieve that end. Disney will go to any lengths to make certain that every one of its 19,000 employees understands its credo and the importance of his or her role in the show to creating the world of make-believe. The payoff is plain to see. The Magic Kingdom truly becomes a magical place. Try resisting Disco Donald. It isn't easy. Crowds flock here as if lured by the Pied Piper. And once inside these walls, no less than the children of Hamelin, they are enthralled.